Hi, I'm OKJ, and in 14 months I'll be taking my Chinese O-levels for the very first time. For this particular chapter, I just want to give you a short update on what I've been doing on a daily basis to improve my Chinese. Because after fumbling and trying new methods, I finally come across this lesson plan that I've created for myself that I've been able to diligently follow on a daily basis. So I want to share this with you today, and perhaps you can give me some tips on how to improve it further. What I have in front of me are some of the stuff that I've been doing. The first thing is obviously the textbook. Every day, I'll spend some time to write at least one chapter out. So all of the Chinese characters that I see, I would write them out clearly and neatly. And there is another thing that I write as well, and those are the 500 words. What I do is that I would practice writing the 500 words using an app on my phone called Anki. And you have seen that app before because that was what we used for some of the previous chapters. Now, Anki is basically a flashcard application that is extremely popular with language students. And good thing for me is that there's a lot of people learning Chinese, so I'm able to download one of the templates that someone else around the world has already prepared. And every day I would review 50 words in order to improve my understanding and familiarization of it. One of the other apps, which to be honest is a little bit contentious, is this app called Duolingo. Some people love it, other people feel it is ineffective. For me, I find that it is somewhat effective for me because I like playing games. And so what I use Duolingo for is that every day I use it as a warm-up exercise before I start all these other activities. And I can see my experience over there, which gives me, I think, a little bit of dopamine boost. But apart from that, I know that if I solely rely on this, I don't think I would have gotten very far. And I've almost gotten a 100-day streak on that, and hopefully I can maintain that all the way until the end of the O-level journey. Another app that I love to use on my phone is something called Do Chinese. And I love Do Chinese because I'm able to immerse myself in the Chinese language in a very meaningful way. It was a free app, but I enjoyed the content so much that I just had to pay for it. And it's broken up into different levels. Right now, I'm on the elementary level, and I'm happy to say that I'm able to read these kinds of stories without using high ping, which I think is a big morale boost. To make this particular activity effective, not only do I have to read it, but I also want to use them. So on that end, I've actually begun to message my wife in Chinese. It uses a lot of high ping, which helps because every time when I do some of my careless mistakes, I'm able to correct it because the word just doesn't come up. For any words that I do not know, I use another app called Pleco, P-L-E-C-O.
Pleco,
Pleco, which is kind of like the Chinese dictionary within a phone. It's very powerful, and I use it in order to familiarize myself with the words that she used, as well as increase my vocabulary usage, which I hope over time would help me to form more complex sentences. Sometimes this might not be enough, and so because of this journey, I have purposely made time to watch one Chinese documentary every day. And I think that was how I unintentionally got better at my English language. Because when you spend your childhood listening to Sir David Attenborough, you naturally become better at using the English language for all of its color and diversity. So right now, I just go on YouTube, I search for some Chinese documentaries, I listen to these amazing narrators, and I look at the Chinese subtitles as well. And hopefully, because I do this on a daily basis, I would then be able to consume and become more familiar with them. And that's about it. So I would say that on a daily basis, it takes about 2 hours in order to go through all of the activities. Sometimes it is a bit more because I don't have energy and so on. On the weekends, I will make up for anything that I might fall short on. But I try my best not to fall into that trap because this whole system only works when I do it on a consistent basis. And hopefully in the next few weeks, I'll be improving fast enough so that my foundation would allow me to go through all of the primary school chapters properly, as well as the PSLE test that's coming up. So that's it for me in terms of sharing this study update. If you feel that there's anything that you know that you might be able to improve my system, share it in the comments below because I really do want to continue improving this system so that I can pass my O-levels with flying colors in 2023. Well, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Bye!